Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 5 of the Cattle-Lackie. As you can see, it's the second day of September. Yes, we did get a second day of September. I was quite certain I was not going to, but I was sadly mistaken. And we are going to be graced or blessed with day 2, which is a good thing because as hectic and chaotic as day 1 was, subjecting you guys to 4 episodes in one in-game day, there was still a lot of stuff that I had hoped to get accomplished that I was not able to get accomplished, and this will allow us an opportunity to get that stuff done. Today, kind of what I want to focus on are these grass fields. Even though they've been cut, they've been limed, and kind of put to bed, so to speak. There's still a tillage requirement on them. They do need to be plowed. So silly as it sounds, I'm going to plow them out, reseed them, make sure the nitrogen level is where it needs to be, and we'll be good to go as we get into harvest season. Thought I would get started early this morning. And we do have a good bit of slurry, and thought, you know what, let's go ahead and drop some slurry on these fields so that when the seeder runs, it doesn't burn through fertilizer like there's no tomorrow. So that's basically what we're doing now. Headed over to one of the grass fields, finish applying the slurry, and then we're going to go ahead and get the big John Deere out, connect it to the plow, and go to town. As you can see, we are going to still get an early start though, because as I've learned from the first 4 episodes, I'm not done having issues. This startup has taught me a lot. You know, a confession here. I think maybe this might be the 3rd or 4th time ever that I've gone into a map and I've just taken a plot of land and covered it over with grass and said, okay, there's a blank canvas. Go ahead and build a farm. You know, and of course that's what I did. I had to put in all the equipment, so on and so forth. And it's just kind of funny. You know, you try to anticipate every situation and everything that you probably need, and the scope of it, the size of it, the right number of things. And as soon as you start gameplay, it's all out the window. So I guess that tells me a couple things. Number one, I'm not as creative as I think I am, and number two, you will never be able to confuse me for a map maker. I can't imagine ever taking on that task. The amount of detail, the amount of forethought that it takes to be able to do those things. I give these people that do this a lot of credit, because yeah, that's probably not me. And if I'm lucky, if I've set this properly, this thing should run, dump slurry, and when it is empty, it should go back to the cow barn and hopefully refill. All right, nearest waypoint, go. Okay. We'll let that thing do its thing, and we'll move on to something else. Let's grab the John Deere 9630 here. Oh, bright lights. Head back, hook up to the plow, and we'll go plow the bigger of the 2 grass fields and get that underway. Again, I want to thank all of you for your patience with my extended startup here. As I said, it's just terrible that it took me 4 episodes to get through the first in-game day. But I promise you, you won't be. I will not subject you to that further. Kind of one of the. I guess that's one of the risks one takes doing a series like this on such a big map. You know, a lot of the content creators will tell you or will warn you that they do not like to use larger than a standard size map for that very reason. The amount of time that it takes to work fields and get things done just doesn't do well for recorded activity, because there is number one, it takes so long, and number two, there's so much repetition. Yeah, I'm kind of seeing that, and I'm experiencing it. Although I am confident that once I can kind of functionally get to where I need to be here, there will be enough going on that we'll be able to jump from one activity to the next while still accomplishing what we need to accomplish. Oh, and while we're doing nothing but driving here, kind of a big shout out to the content creator community that I support. I want to turn around and thank all of you guys for supporting me after my third episode. I was just incredibly overwhelmed with the response from Rusty Money Gaming, from Gaming Joy, from CS Benji, from Dust Bunny. Oh boy, I'm leaving people out here. From Why Not Gaming, and thank all of you guys, for your kind and considerate feedback, and especially to Rusty Money Gaming. Over the weekend, I was sitting with my girlfriends and just kind of relaxing, and I actually had Rusty Money's live stream up on a television in the bedroom, and my girlfriend was in the bathroom, and she says, "Hey, this guy's talking about you," and Rusty was kind enough to give me a shout out actually during his live stream. So Rusty, thank you so very much for that. Without you guys and all of your support, I don't know that I would have the encouragement or the inspiration to even attempt this. Another kind of special mention to Gaming Joy. After the first episode, he commented, and he had no way of knowing that I had already gone there, but he said, "Hey, you might want to edit the capacity of those cow barns because it's going to be tough to keep up with." So thank you so much. And any of you guys who aren't familiar with Gaming Joy, his name's Josh, by the way, please check out his channel. I absolutely love his comment. Yes, he does playthroughs like everyone else does, but his stuff's really unique and different because he's also a modder. And what's really cool about it is he's created a lot of really, really good mods, some of which I have installed. But what's really neat is he takes the time to actually explain how this stuff's done and how, frankly, Josh, if you're watching, if you're listening, I really wish Giants would hire you as a contractor and allow you to do their testing for them, because it amazes me how you always find stuff wrong with maps before they seem to know it. But anyway, definitely check out his channel. His knowledge of not only this game but kind of what's going on behind the scenes and how to make things that are broken fixed or better. I'll tell you what, if you're on PC and you've always wanted kind of to understand how to do all that, his videos are a great place to start. Okay, let's see if we can get a course in here. Of course. Don't know really why I'm saving that course. Probably not going to be plowing this field up anytime soon, but yeah, oh well, have it. Okay. We'll let that run. Oh, cool. All right. So we've managed to get this whole field covered with slurry without filling up. You may recall a couple of episodes ago when I was liming the fields, I mentioned how I had edited the lime usage on this map. Well, in addition to that, while I was at it, I edited the slurry usage as well. That's something else that doesn't seem to go very far. Hopefully I have not over-edited it. The last thing I need to do is end up with a ton of slurry. But again, if I've overcompensated or over-adjusted, I'll just go back in and change it. But again, a conversation about Gaming Joy and all of his very wonderfully unique skills. Those are the types of things that you can learn if you pay attention to his content. Whoa. we'll get this slurry tanker back into the barn, and I think we'll grab the smaller plow and get it over here and get it going. I won't make you folks wait for all that nonsense. I'll be back with you when we are back over to this field. Okay, here we are back at the field with our smaller plow. This field's not quite as big, so it might be easier just to use this ripper on it. Any of you who have been with me from the very start know that I had this really unique and different plow / seed bed preparation tool that kept wandering around my shed. Well, I got so sick and tired of it wrapping itself around poles that I gave up on it and just went ahead and got the handy dandy International, which hopefully will be a little more forgiving and understanding. All right, 8.5 meters. Let's see, number of headlands. Let's do 2. No, we'll do them sharp. As usual, skip 1 row and generate. Okay, it doesn't look too ugly. 8.5. Okay, and have at it. Excellent. 1 hour. That's about right. So it's going to take the big plow in the big field. I don't know if you folks noticed that, but an hour, and this one's an hour and 6 minutes. So that sounds about right. That's perfectly fine. I always have a tendency when I set these things up. Wow, look at that sunrise. It's just absolutely beautiful. Whenever I do, whoa, okay, we might have another implement that doesn't work for us. Oh my word. Oh boy, never a dull moment. Oh my word. Okay, I'm going to see if I can sort this out, folks. Okay, we're back, everybody. Yeah, I had to make a change. I tinkered with that International Harvester ripper for a bit, and it just kept inexplicably skipping. Probably a function of the tool itself. When I bought it, it comes as a trailed implement, but there's an option to make a direct connect, so to get rid of the hitch essentially and the tow bar, which I did, thinking, okay, if it connects right to the back of the tractor, it won't miss on the turn, so on and so forth. Well, I think that also messes up its ability to do a good job because it continued to skip. I think if it were a trailed implement, it probably would have done better. But anyway, I swapped it out with the trusty but not realistic Lizard 6/9MT so that we could get this done. And we're about halfway with the small field here. The big field is almost finished. We've had a little bit of fun over there. And we've got a few more strips and we'll be done. But our worker here has managed to plow some of my soybeans in the 2 adjacent fields over there and on the end down there, but that's okay. We'll go with it. I do see that I'm going to have some cleanup to do here as soon as he's finished. So as soon as he's done, we'll run around the field and clean up the corners and any missed bits before we go back and hook up to the seeder to reseed this field. This is probably my favorite tillage setup in the game. I love this old John Deere with this trailed plow. It always seems to do a pretty good job. Pretty much just about every big map that I play on, I use this combination. And it's really lucrative too, by the way, if you play with contracts and you play on some of these big maps, you can get paid a lot of money to plow some of these big fields up. And given the fact that this thing has such a wide spread and can do them fairly quickly, you can go out, take 3 or 4 plowing contracts, and pretty soon you've got enough money to start upgrading and buying new equipment. Let's see, while we're sitting here waiting on this to finish, I want to take a look at the animals real quick and see how we did overnight. If you recall, we topped up their hay the first day of September after I had expanded both the food capacity and reduced their consumption. So I'm just curious to see where they're at here today. I believe I have both set so that we really can't go a day without providing them at least some food, which I think, again, is pretty realistic. Okay, where are we at here? All right, yeah, so we're at 63,000 liters. We need 62 for a day, so yeah, we definitely need to top up the dairy cows. Looks like we're getting pretty full on milk. I need to do something about that. Straw looks good. What about the beef cattle? 33,000, yeah, so they probably need some too. Well, one thing we can do today, since we are, oh wow, we've missed spots at the end there. Since we are now our fermenting silos are working, we can probably mix up a batch of TMR to give them, at least the dairy cattle, and get them producing more. Although it sure does look like we need to deliver some milk at some point here. It looks like I've got a little bit of cleanup to do, way more than I should have. That's typically why I try to reduce the width of the implement, even though it might say it's 16.5 meters. Nah, I always knock it down by, 2 or 3 tenths. If it says 16.7, make it 16.5. And typically you avoid those things, but oh well. We'll just fix it. Alrighty. Well, he says he's done, but I would say that we all know better. Let's check on our other plow. Yeah, he's doing a little bit better. I still think there's probably some stuff in the corners I'm going to need to clean up, but yeah, he's moving right along. All right, folks. Well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and clean this mess up and get this back to the barn, and I'll be back with you when we're ready to put some seed in the ground. All right. Thought I'd bring you back in while we hook up the seeder in the air cart. I've touched up the bits that were missed by the plow and should be ready to go. It's funny, it did a really good job on the corners, but did a horrible job at the ends of the rows. All right. See if I can remember how to hook this thing up. I believe this section goes first, so. This tractor's far too small to ever pull this thing, but it's hefty enough to get it out of the barn anyway. Whoa, well, maybe it is. All right, let's grab the tank. I've never used this particular seeder before. I've always used the John Deere version. It's always pretty reliable. When I was setting this series up and testing stuff out, I gave the Case air cart and seeder a go, and that thing was terrible. The wheels wouldn't turn properly on it. I thought, oh man, there's no way. So, oh boy. Didn't exactly leave myself a ton of room here, did I? Alrighty. Do a 25-point turn. Did you see that little glitch there where everything just momentarily disappeared? There it is again. That's this shed for some reason. Once you get on the edge of it, it does that. It's the weirdest thing. Oh. Back up here. Need to see what I'm doing. Well, this is a lot of machine. And see if we can get back to that. And no. Close. Ah. Concentration. And there we go. Okay. That should work. We'll get this bad boy out of the way. Not too sure about this Massey. This and that other John Deere that we have, I seem to be content to pretty much use them as just tractors to push things around the yard. I think we could probably trade them in on something imminently more useful, but I haven't quite figured out what that is yet. I wouldn't mind a fast carting tractor like a JCB or a Dutes, but I figure we'll get through this harvest coming up, kind of see what we feel like we're lacking, and then maybe make an adjustment in terms of equipment. All right, let's get this bad boy put away. Backing up implements with articulated tractors. Yeah. It's funny, once you kind of get the rhythm of the flow of it, it's not too bad. But boy, until you're in the groove, it's kind of challenging. Whoops. The one thing I will say is that you can adjust their trajectory fairly quickly. All right, that's done. Let's hook up to this seeding implement and see how much of a challenge it's going to be to plant this field. Here again, we have two seeders. I'll probably use this big one on that big field, and when the 7R is done running, I'll bring it back here, detach the plow, and then hook up to the smaller seeder that we have. Oh, you know what we better do? Grass. There we go. Excellent. Wait a minute. Is everything on? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Was looking for alfalfa. It's that last item there. Okay, so that plow's finished, so we can get it back here. Okay, let's see, 19.8. Let's make that 19.5. Headlands. Yeah, let's do. We'll do two. We'll do them smooth, but I'm going to do a substantial overlap and try to cut down as much of the missed bits as possible. Field margin 0.2. All right. Here we go. Fingers crossed. And we're seeding. I'm curious to see how badly it's going to muff that first turn up there. I'm going to stay with this thing and see what it does on this turn. I've tried these air cart configurations both ways, with the cart or with the with the seeder cart directly behind the tractor, and then also trailing the tank. And I guess I've always had this assumption that the closer it is to the tractor, the less it will miss on the turns and on the headlands. But oddly enough, I don't know that it really matters. I'm just curious to see how much grass we plant in that soybean field. As I said, we managed to plow a little bit of it. Well, he missed some, but boy, not too much. Wow, impressive. Well, if I don't have anything more to clean up than that, that's pretty good. Okay, well, we'll leave him be. Jump back over to the 7R. He's done. Wonder how easily it is for us to jump down and cross this ditch. Not too bad. Drop this plow, go pick up the smaller seeder, and then we'll get him started. And then I think after that, there's really only one more thing that I need to keep you folks for. We'll get the cows fed, and I think we'll call it an episode. Let's drop this off. Jump over here. If I'm not mistaken, this thing is on this end. Let's see. It's on this end with a fertilizer spreader in the way. No big deal. We'll make an adjustment. There's that blink again. It's really weird. I don't think that irritates me enough that I want to change out the building, but it is kind of irritating. Now I'll put this bad boy down over here so that it can be in the way then tomorrow in October when we want to grab that auger wagon and those headers. Okay, let's go ahead and get our grass selected for this. There it is. We'll get back over to the field and get started. Get this unfolded, get over here and get into position. And let's see what we got. No course. 8 meters, number of headlands. I'm going to do 3. Actually, I can do these sharp. And here we go. Perfect. Wow, though. You can see up there the nitrogen application with the slurry we put on this field. It's going to keep the fertilizer utilization down. That's great. I think we're using it pretty good on the other field. Let's take a look over there. Yeah, I was able to get some onto this field, by the way. So at least for part of it, you can see there where it's orange down in the lower left-hand corner where it's orange instead of red. So it looks like we'll be okay until we hit those red areas. Then we'll probably start using it. Let's see, we're on our second headland. We're down to 80%. Oh yeah, this is not going to complete this task without having to refill for sure. No, no big deal. We'll just take care of it and get it going again. All right, so looks like we're good there. Looks like we're good here. Missed a little bit on that turn. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm fussy about that stuff. It just drives me crazy when I look at a field and I see a missed spot with the planter. It doesn't bother me so much with the arable crops that, you're going to harvest, but this grass where it's going to just continue to grow, you want it right. So, yeah, I'll fix it. All right, so that's 51 minutes. That's 36 minutes. Okay, let's on to other things. We've got one more task to complete today. And yeah, I think then we're going to call it an episode. Going to feed some of these cows. Still have a good bit of hay in there. I do want to mix up some TMR, but I was thinking maybe what we may do is just give them a little TMR to make sure that we can get through the day, through the night. And when they run out of TMR, then they'll start using hay. Oh yes, food mixer. That's right. See, here I go again, trying to talk and drive at the same time is just horrible. I'd like to hope at some point I'll get better at this. In the meantime, it's terrible. I put all this stuff together and I spend the time to edit it and I upload it and I ask my girlfriend to watch it and she's always so gracious. She watches it. She's always so kind, and I always say, no, really, give me some constructive feedback. And all she ever tells me is, no, trust me, it's great. It's wonderful. I really like it. I'm like, oh gosh, it's awful. All right, let's see. Get my menu up here. Turn on feed mixer. Okay. So you'll notice in the last episode I bought a feed mixer, but it was a little bit different than this one. I realized after that episode the one that we had was going to be woefully inadequate in terms of size for the amount of food that these cattle could possibly eat. So I traded it in on a bigger one. And while I was doing some testing on it to make sure that everything was going to work right, I discovered something really, really cool. Now that I say that, I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna I'll turn it and it won't work like everything else. Okay. B, start auto load, and they miraculously jump up on the. So if this is working right and it's working like it did when I tested it, I should be able to do this. Whoa. Perhaps we should. And unload bales. I should be able to put 3 hay bales in and 2 straw bales in and top the whole thing up with silage, and we should have an almost perfect mixture with pretty much the maximum of everything. Whoop. There we go. So like I said, now that I've said that, this thing will go and make a liar out of me. Let's get the straw in there. Unload bales. Excellent. Okay. Let's drive around the building here, grab some TMR. Looks like we could get another bale of hay in there. I'm not sure. Probably not. Looks like I might need a road through here. When I have J.D. Russell, the farm owner, put in our access road to out there for us this winter, maybe I'll put one in there. Let's jump over and see what we've got for TMR. Start here at the big silo. And boom. How about that, folks? I could probably, man, I could just about put another, I wonder if I could put another bale of hay in there. Well, tell you what, I'm not going to mess with it now. I might test that off camera. But at this point, I don't know what I would rather use more of, hay or silage. Frankly, the silage, we have so much corn, and I can certainly cut more. So, yeah, not really sure what to do. Anyway, there we go. 61,582 liters of TMR, just like that. And there's really nothing to it in terms of measuring it. All right, let's get in here and find this trigger that moves. I believe it's at the other end of the barn. At least it was last episode. And there we go. Tell you what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to put about half of this in here, and then I'm going to stop. Like I said, there's still a good amount of hay in here, and I would like them to go ahead and eat that hay up so that we're and I don't know about feeding the beef cattle TMR. I think I'm just going to keep them on hay for now. And okay. Let's take a peek here to see where they're at. All right. Oh, no, that's not too bad. Okay. So, yeah, 44 to 60. That sounds about right. So they'll eat up all of that TMR and start digging into some of that hay, which is perfectly fine. And I will throw in, let's see, there's 32,000. So we have plenty to get through to the morning with the Angus, but I'm probably going to put in just a little more hay for them. And then they'll be all set. So, okay. Well, folks, I think that's going to just about wrap it up. We can call it an episode. I'll continue to seed those fields and, as I said, roll them. And then I think we're ready to move on to October and what will be a pretty mammoth corn harvest. So as always, thank you for being with me again today. I truly do appreciate it. If you liked what you saw today, I'd appreciate knowing that. Give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like what you saw today, well, I'd appreciate knowing that too. Leave me a comment and let me know why. And if you've been watching for a while and you are not subscribed, I'd like you to consider subscribing. It would really help out me and help out my channel. Have a great day, everybody.